Hi, I'm Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my wrap up for the first half of July, the 1st through the 15th. And in these couple of weeks, I managed to finish 5 books, and they all count for the reading event that I'm taking part in this month, Giallo July, created by the Bookubus. And I also watched 2 Giallo movies so far this month. The first book that I finished in July was Wild Spaces by S.L. Coney. I'm very glad I decided to read this one in the summer because it was definitely a summery book taking place by the ocean with ocean-y type creature action going on. It has a boy with a very cool dog and his very uncool grandfather. I read this for the Jason's Weird Reads book club on Fable, and I ended up giving this 4 stars, and I've heard very mixed things on this, but in our group, everyone's given it 4 stars so far. It's a good one for summer, I think. Short and sweet, but mostly sad. Short and sad. So this counts for animal on the cover for Giallo July, and this also counts as one of my reads for the super size, super small summer reading challenge that I'm helping to co-host for the Paper Traveler. I'll have information about that reading challenge linked down below. And this next book counts for that as well, because they're both under 200 pages. This one is The Woods All Black by Lee Mandello. This also counts as a book with a color in the title for Giallo July. This is a trans story that is also a historical horror story taking place in 1920s Appalachian mountains. This one, I really liked the first half. I liked the historical elements and the story of trans characters in that time and the hardships they go through. Things got a little strange in the last half, but I still enjoyed it, and I gave this one 3.5 stars. Oh, this one I also read for the Creepy Book Club, hosted by Nightmare Maven. We have 2 small, short books this month instead of one long one. The other book for the Creepy Book Club was The Shadow Half Remains by Sunny Moraine, which I also read in the first half of July. It counts for Giallo July because there's an animal on the cover. This is an apocalyptic story involving a disease that makes you go crazy if you look at another person. You can't look someone in the eyes, can't look at their face, which is a very isolating thing. So everyone lives on their own, doesn't leave their shelter as much as possible. It's a really interesting apocalyptic story because the world hasn't completely fallen apart, but things are a lot more tricky There's a lot of talk of a lot of people have to order their food to come to their door because they don't want to go somewhere with a lot of people to get food, and people packing up the food and the mail sorting and delivering. Everyone has to be kind of separated and on their own, and that makes the process a lot slower. So things are a lot slower to get to you, and who knows how long they can even keep it up. They're gonna have enough people that haven't gone crazy and started hurting themselves and others to keep things going for much longer. I really, really like this story. There's also a sapphic romance in here. Very interesting, considering you can't look at each other. And it's very psychological as well. So a lot of things that I enjoy in my books, and I gave this one 4 stars. 2 more books. First, there's The Wishing Pool by Tananarive Due, and this was not a planned book for me, but it does have yellow on the cover, so it counts for Giallo July. And my Everand account wouldn't let me get into the books I wanted to read for the month until the 11th, so I needed an audiobook for the first part of the month, so I went into my Libby app and looked what was available now, and The Wishing Pool was available. I couldn't believe it. This is one I've been wanting to read for quite a while. It's a short story collection. There was one story in here I had read somewhere else. I don't know if it was Summer, her other short story collection, or I might have read it in a anthology of some kind. But the rest were new, and they were pretty good. I really have enjoyed her short stories. I gave it 4 stars as well. And then the last book that I finished in the first half of July was Beyond the Bounds of Infinity, edited by Vaughn A. Jackson and Stephanie Pierre. And this is an anthology of diverse horror. So horror stories from many different perspectives, different genders, ethnicities, and LGBT voices. And there were 20 stories. I gave this one 4 stars as well. It was, I had 5 5-star stories, 5 3-star stories, and 10 4-star stories. It had yellow on the cover for Giallo July, and it's under 200 pages for the super size, super small reading challenge. And now for the 2 Giallo movies that I've watched so far. The first being Blood and Black Lace from 1964, directed by Mario Bava, and this one I liked quite a bit. It takes place in a haute couture fashion house, and a bunch of the models are getting killed off by a very mysterious masked person with black gloves and fedora. And I gave that one 3.5 stars. And then the other movie I watched was The Bird with the Crystal Plumage from 1970, directed by Dario Argento. And this one also had a killer going after young women, and a writer from the US who was visiting Italy witnesses an attempted murder and kind of gets caught up in the investigation and gets kind of obsessed with the case and figuring it out, which was interesting. I think the acting in this one was not quite as good as Blood and Black Lace. There were some interesting set designs. A couple in particular were pretty cool. And I gave this one 3 stars. Neither one of these really excited me and were like amazing to me like Suspiria was, that from Dario Argento, that I watched in June. So maybe I need a little bit of that supernatural horror type edge. But we'll see. I have 2 more movies that I plan to watch in the second half of July, so hopefully those ones I really end up loving. Have you read any of these books, and what did you think of them? Ooh, I have a very diverse group of books here, and I love it. I'd love to know what you thought of them, or if you want to read these books, and I'll be back very soon with another book related video. Thanks